When studying ancient warnings, one would find it difficult to overlook writings from the Bible, which shockingly provide warnings of a worldwide devastation and also hint to a pole shift occurring, described as taking place before what most people refer to as Armageddon, a worldwide war for resources and survival.
There was a great earthquake, and the sun became black, and the moon became as blood. Every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and there were voices and thunderings and lightnings. There followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
This phenomenon is called pole shift, in which the entire mantle of the Earth would shift in a matter of days, perhaps hours, changing the position of the North and South Pole, causing worldwide disaster. Earthquakes would rock every continent. Massive tsunamis would inundate coastal cities. It would be the ultimate planetary catastrophe. As unlikely as this theory seems, it is backed by science. Albert Einstein first suggested it in 1955, and a new study from Princeton University reveals that the poles have shifted before. The North Pole rested in the middle of the Pacific, placing Alaska at the equator. Even if this pole shift took place slowly over years, it would result in global climate change and shifting sea levels. If it took place rapidly, it would mean planet-wide disaster and mass extinction of species.
One man seemed to believe so, one of the most well-known and respected scientists in modern history, Albert Einstein.
One can hardly doubt that significant shifts of the crust have taken place repeatedly and within a short time. In a polar region, there is a continual deposition of ice, which is not symmetrically distributed about the pole. The Earth's rotation acts on these unsymmetrically deposited masses and produces centrifugal momentum that is transmitted to the rigid crust of the Earth. The constantly increasing centrifugal momentum produced in this way will, when it has reached a certain point, produce a movement of the Earth's crust over the rest of the Earth's body, and this will displace the polar regions toward the equator.
If anything can be attached to the idea of fire, it is the idea of pain. It should strike within our minds that hell is a place of pain. Unimaginable. The man in Luke 16, he cried out in his torments, if only he could have a drop of water for his tongue. Not even that would be given to him. The thing that is so fearful about hell is not just that it is a fiery furnace, not just that Isaiah would say, not who can dwell with those fires, but who can dwell with the everlasting burnings. Everlasting. That is the horror of horrors about hell, is it never ends. It is pain that is excruciating. It is anguish. Our generation knows very little about pain. We have so many medications, so much to dull the pain. But here, there will be nothing to dull it. God will not relieve your pain, no matter how you cry, no matter how you weep. Think of weeping. Have you ever just wept uncontrollably? You've lost a beloved one. Something traumatic has happened in your life where you have just wept uncontrollably. That is how Christ describes hell. It is a place of weeping. You will weep. Think of this. To weep forever. You will weep if you land in hell. You will weep more than all the weeping that has ever been done in all the ages of all the earth. You will fill up the measure of the weeping of every individual who has passed through life. Because you will weep, and you will weep, and you will weep. And there's the idea of the gnashing of teeth. Whether it's in the unbearable, excruciating pain, there are places in the Scripture that attach the gnashing of teeth to anger as well. The anger at others, the anger at yourself, the anger at God still. The doctrine of hell is about eternal destruction. It doesn't make better. It destroys everything that has any semblance of good. The image of God that is upon you, man, will be eternally defaced and defiled. You will become more and more and more contemptible as the eternal ages pass by. And think about that. Daniel describes it as a place of eternal contempt. Do you know what the word contempt means? It means that in the sight of God, He will find you absolutely vile, absolutely